Evening, everyone. Hopefully the stream is okay. There we go. We can set stuff up. Happy days. That's what we like to see. Yeah, hope everyone's doing well. Let's change scene. There we go. Good evening, Jordan. Good evening. Hope you're well. Not quite sure why my chat box is the other way. It's upside down. Very bizarre. There we go. Let's see if we can move that there. There we go. Happy days, happy days. What's my secret? I'm always happy. Just rum and coke. No. Just try and look on the brighter things of life, mate. How long until lights out, Rotty? We have... Ooh, what do we have? Less than half an hour. So, obviously, they're making their way around to the grid now. And lights out will be on the hour. No rum. Oh, we have to get on the rums. Nice. It's very nice. Let's make that a bit brighter. So, yeah. Hey, James, good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Hope everyone's doing well. And obviously, we're in for a late sprint shootout in the UK or in Europe. Most of you, if in Europe, it'll be either 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the morning. If you're in the UK, of course, it is 10:30 at the moment. Or by the time, obviously, the sprint actually gets underway, it will be around 1 o'clock in the morning for most of you, probably. Or 12 o'clock at night. And then, of course, if you're in the US, it's a nice, comfortable, 6 o'clock in the evening for you. So happy days. What F1 livery am I running for Super Formula if I didn't have my own? I would probably run... I would probably run the Vodafone Chrome McLaren livery. Back from the 2000s, it was when Mika Hakkinen was racing for them. That was Mika Hakkinen, and I think not Mika Hakkinen. Sorry, not that one. The Lewis Hamilton one with Fernando Alonso. That was a lovely livery. I raced that in F3 before I had my own one. Loved that. I see someone racing it actually just the other day actually, which is really nice. Yeah. Come on, that Red Bull looks a handful, Tom. It does indeed. It does indeed. So, intrigued to see, of course, what tyres people are going to use for this 19-lap. Jesus Christ. They really do try and spruce up these sprints, don't they? They literally got a DJ on the grid. On the grid. Yeah, be interested to see. I think the medium tyre is what most people are going to run for this 19-lap race. The soft just won't last. I think it'd be very similar to how we saw at Qatar, where the soft just falls off. I think the medium is definitely going to be the tyre here. So we'll see what they got. But who have I got for the win today and tomorrow? Got to go for my boy Lewis. We've got a whole year without a win First time in his career ever that he didn't have a win in a season. So I think I'm going for Lewis. He's got pace. He's got pace. So third in both qualifiers, qualifying. So I think, yeah. Doesn't give us a cold drink, pizza, F1 and stuffy. Ah, I'm glad I'm in that combination. Oh, they're talking to Rory McIlroy. Yeah, he's invested in Alpine, isn't he? I'm not so sure how much influence they're actually going to have, but... Hey, Destin! I am very well, thank you. I'm very well. Yeah, and this nice, chilled Saturday evening, not Sunday. Got ahead of myself there. It will be Sunday tomorrow, of course, but yeah, nice Saturday evening. Got to be Lewis for me. Need to see him back in his element. Yes, and he does look very comfortable in this car. I think this is going to be a good race. I think genuinely the top four have got the quickest pace here this weekend. I don't think the Red Bull is as clear cut out the front as it has been. I mean, Max would have been on pole yesterday if it weren't for track limits, but you can argue the reason he only would have been on pole was because he exceeded those track limits, because you do keep your foot in the throttle that much longer through turn 19, and of course it was very, very tight up the top, as it was in the sprint shootout as well. So yeah, definitely going to be the teams definitely need to be on it, the drivers do, and I think strategy is going to play an element this weekend. No, I missed the F1 Academy races. I was watching the football earlier. I was watching the Man United game. I was flicking between the Man United game and the rugby. Of course, England's getting beat by 1 point by South Africa, which was obviously frustrating, but hey-ho. We were expected to get absolutely battered by them. So Lewis around USA has always been a good... Yeah, he's won the most races out of anyone at Circuit of the Americas. So... how long have we been at the Circuit of the Americas now? Is it nearly 10 years? Nearly 10 years, I think it is. So 2012, yeah, 11 years now. Wow, 11 years. Time goes quick, man. I remember when they did the, was it David Coulthard took the Red Bull around the dirt layout. So they'd done obviously the groundworks for it. And it was literally a dirt track. And he went round there and did that. That was something. It feels like I've been going in longer than 10 years, doesn't it? Or 11 years. But, of course, Miami, Circuit of the Americas, and then, of course, Vegas soon. So... 3 races in the US now. It makes sense, really, considering it is a continent. We see the USA as just a country in pretty much most parts of the world. But really, of course, you've got Canada and Mexico. But generally speaking, USA is kind of its own continent. So looking forward to next season already. Seems to look like it's going to be a little bit closer. More competitive with a few teams, as long as Red Bull haven't done too much in the background. Yeah, I mean, that's probably like the worry, isn't it? The worry is that Red Bull have stopped developing their car for this year. Like they've already, I mean, and they could have stopped developing this car this year after probably like 3 or 4 races, after seeing how far ahead of the field they were. So yeah, the worry is that next year's car is even better than this year's car. So giving kind of people a false sense of hope and security that they're actually catching up. But the reason why Red Bull aren't so dominant in this race this weekend is because of just the nature of the circuit. So the Cota's track surface is got obviously quite bumpy over the years, and the ride height has to be raised to accommodate for those bumps, so they cannot run the car as low as they normally would like to. So with that, it's kind of brought everyone a little bit closer to Red Bull. Ferrari have quite evidently made some gains. Mercedes have some upgrades here this weekend, which Lewis quite evidently seems to be comfortable with out of the box, and it shows. So we'll see. We'll see if it continues, but it's good to see regardless. Glory, glory, Man United. Good finish. It was a good finish. Expected, though, at Sheffield United, Tom. Expected. Beautiful track. Miami and Vegas should take note. I agree. I agree. Yeah, I don't know about Vegas. It just doesn't excite me. Most of the overtaking is going to be done down that massive long straight. At the end of the day, the cars are going to be set up for low downforce. So it's going to be all about maximising their top end speed to make the overtake through that massive long straight, which is the strip at Vegas. So with this little amount of downforce they're going to have, we're not going to see a lot of overtaking through the corners that Vegas has. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think it'll be a race where very much it's a bit like Baku, where the only way we'll get a decent race and an exciting one is if there's a safety car, if there's a crash, a red flag, something of the like. So Vegas sound a lot better than it looks. Yeah, well, it's just the venue, isn't it? It's just the fact of it. It's at Vegas. Like that whole week is going to be like Monaco, isn't it? On steroids. Like it's just going to be an absolute buzz. But I've seen a lot of stuff on TikTok and online, and like locals are not happy with it whatsoever. The businesses there have been threatened by F1. Any businesses that have kind of an overlook of the track have been threatened and approached and threatened by F1's representative, Liberty Media's representatives, for if they don't give them a cut of their profits or a fee or something, they'll block off their view, try and block off their view. Like they've relayed the whole strip for the last year as well. Like it's just caused so much aggro for people in and around Vegas. But we'll see. We'll see. Will Vegas just be another Monza? Probably. Yeah, probably. If Lewis Hamilton have a perfect car like that of Max, he will be even more faster than him. I've been open and honest about kind of my opinion of Max. Obviously, it's not very preferable, but I appreciate that, and I can acknowledge that he's a very, very good driver. He's very quick. He's very talented. You can't deny that. Even as like a fan of F1 or as any other driver. What I will say is that you saw the difference in 2021. You saw the difference that they both have speed, no doubt. And when in like equal enough machinery, which is probably like the most equal two competitors for the driver championship have been in regards to equal machinery if they're not in the same team. We saw the difference in racecraft. And I will say that if you go back and genuinely look at the times that Lewis and Max went wheel to wheel, I think every time Max tried to at least run Lewis out of road. And I'll say that, Lewis always at least tried to make that, tried to keep it fair. And obviously people hark back to Silverstone. Of course, that's the one incident, the one contentious incident. But more often than not, Max shoved Lewis out of track and was given a massive amount of leeway in regards to that. So I think that was the difference. And with that also comes kind of the fact Max was going for his first World Championship, whereas Lewis was going for his 8th. The pressure and the desperation of wanting to win so much. Just not willing to give up a position and not necessarily thinking about the long-term nature of the championship, which I think Lewis definitely had in his head. So be interested to see. I'd love to see him go head-to-head again, before Lewis's career is out, just to see has the mentality changed there from Max, because the one other time we've seen them go together was Brazil last year, and even then, like, it's like a flip switched in Max's head, and he just wasn't going to give Lewis that position. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know what goes on through his head, but it was intriguing to see that kind of incident occurred. So, but unpopular opinion, I don't think Lewis and Russell should be teammates. Lewis needs someone else in my eyes. Like, well, the problem is that Russell is quick, no doubt. But Russell obviously he's moved to Mercedes to win a world championship as well. He's not there just to be Lewis's right-hand man. Like, he wants to beat who he considers to be the greatest of all time. While he admires Lewis, he also wants to beat him. He has his own objectives. And kind of a bit unfortunate for George, I think if Lewis had won 2021, I think he probably would have retired. And I think George would have been... I think there would have been 2 brand new drivers in that Mercedes team. But at the moment, George is like, well, he's trying to stamp his authority down. He's been trying the alternative strategy. He's definitely taken the strategy of setting his car up more for qualifying than he has for race. So that he kind of gets himself front and centre ahead of Lewis in qualifying, and kind of gets himself a preferential treatment on strategy. Because I think Mercedes are quite fair with their drivers, but look, it comes a stage now where Lewis is going for second in the championship. Not that they really care about that, but Lewis is quite far ahead of Russell in the championship, and you need to prioritise Lewis. So I think when it comes in 2021, I believe Mercedes car was faster than Red Bull. Yeah, definitely. I would say it was probably 50-50, Suresh. I think there was a considerable amount of circuits where Red Bull was quicker, and there was a fair amount of circuits where the Mercedes was quicker. That's what made it such a great championship, was that genuinely they both made... Red Bull and Mercedes both had 2 of the best drivers, like, in F1. And we had them in equal enough machinery that they both could go at it for the whole year. I mean, if Lewis wasn't on pole, Max was. And if Max finished first, Lewis finished second. Like, it was vice versa all year. Of course, there was a couple of outliers there, Baku and stuff like that, and Silverstone or whatever. But it was just, that's why it was such a great season, and that's why it was so great to watch. And very rarely does it happen where 2 teams get the cars so close, and that you're able to have a challenge, and you have 2 drivers on the top of their game like that. It was just peak performance from everyone all round. And I mean, Lewis and Max just both, they just showed they're a class above the rest, especially when it came to Perez and Bottas. I mean, you think about it, Bottas is no slouch, and that championship, if Bottas pulled his finger out of his arse a few times, that championship could have gone a very different way, and it could have been a lot more comfortable to Lewis. But likewise, you could also say the same about Perez as well. So yeah, it was a great season to watch. I think when it comes to Lewis and Max, they both changed what they would normally do when wheel to wheel. Well, more so Lewis's side is more so led from Max, because Lewis has said in the past that the reason he treats Max differently, and the reason he treats Max differently is because Max goes in with this gun-ho attitude of, like, you either move out my way or we're crashing. That's pretty much it. And it's worked because a lot of drivers think about self-preservation. They want to make it to the end of the race. They're thinking about the longevity of the championship. And unfortunately, the stewards kind of never penalised it. They always and they still do it now today. What you'll notice with the stewards, they penalise the outcome, not the intention. So compare it to a 2-footed challenge in football, soccer. If someone goes in with a 2-footed challenge and someone studs up and the guy gets straight back up, nowadays they will get sent off for that, regardless of whether they've injured the player or not. Whereas F1 would only give, if it was F1 managing that, they would only give a red card for that challenge if the player got injured and was rolling around the floor. If the player got up again and was walking around and shrugged it off, they would not give a card. They would not send that player off. And it's the same with F1. Same with that. So. Hey, stuff. Hope you're enjoying it. I am loving it, John. I'm loving it. The only issue I have with my new car is that it's electric. And getting accustomed and planning ahead of getting the car charged is a pain in the ass, because I've moved into a flat and I'm paying service charge for the property and like the area. And in my car park, there are electric spaces. There are electric charging points, and the charging points are not activated. They're turned on, but they're not activated yet with a service provider. And I'm not very happy, because it means that I'm having to plan ahead in regards to parking my car a little way away to charge it up and leave it there and walk to, like, it's just a bit of faff at the moment, if you ask me. But other than that, I'm absolutely loving it. It's a much better car to be in. Can't beat it compared to I had a BMW 1 Series before, and it was nice, but yeah, the interior of a Mercedes and how comfortable it is, it's just yeah, a lot more nice. So hey Tom, good to see you, mate. So how many minutes are we away now to the race? 7 minutes, just under 7 minutes. Wait, I'm going to need another rum and coke before this starts. Suresh, yes, I have one that I need to edit, or I have two that I need to edit and put together for a video. I'm probably do some more tomorrow before the day's out. I've got my 3K I rating back, yeah! Oh, thanks, Tom. Yeah, we do try. Yeah, I feel like I'm unique compared to others out there. So yeah, we do things our own way. We do things our own way. Very easy to get caught up in what other people are doing on YouTube and compare yourself. But yeah, I like it. I like what we do. Just bring the bottle up. I'm not Captain Jack Sparrow. Where's the rum? Am I suffering energy anxiety? Not energy anxiety, no, because I've worked out how. I mean, unfortunately, I'm doing quite a lot of miles back and forth from work at the moment because we're in a temporary office. I've got about another month of that, and then we're moving like a bit closer. So if people don't know, I work in construction. That's my full-time job. I'm a surveyor. Don't worry, I don't get on my hands and knees and get these babies dirty. I'm too soft for that. But yeah, no, I'm working from a temporary office at the moment, and then once we've got a site set up, which is another month or so, so I know how much energy I need to get me back and forth. But yeah, it's just, it shouldn't be as aggravating as what it is at the moment because of obviously the parking situation with the charges. So I should just be able to, I should already be able to just plug my car in overnight and that's it, and I have 100% charge every time I go out. But that's not the case at the moment. So hey Red, how's it going? I haven't seen you for a while. Last week you head back to the UK. Oh, nice one. What do you do for work that has taken you over to Japan? I'm intrigued. Is it weird driving a silent car? Do you know what? It's not. I really thought I would struggle to adapt. I thought it would really take me aback not hearing like the revs of an engine. But it's no, because you overlook that pretty quickly with how quickly the car launches off the line. You put your foot down and it's in an electric car, even in like kind of an SUV type car that I've got now. So yeah, it's like whoa. So I love it. Yeah, it's great. But the issue with that is though, every time you put your foot down, every time you launch off the line, you see the mileage go down 1. So it's like, was it worth it? Yeah. But yeah, it's the thing is that while it is silent, you still get the sound of the tyres on the road. So it's not like it's totally silent. So you still know how fast you're going. But yeah. So it's spiking YouTube since started showing the Super Formula content. Oh, thanks, mate. Yeah, Super Formula seems to be going really well. It seems to be popular across the general base. The shorts have been going really well recently. The algorithm seems to kind of picked up sim racing again. I've seen some other sim racing content or sim racing YouTubers as well who've also been doing the shorts content, and they've been getting some good numbers. So it kind of goes in spells. So yeah, I've had a lot of views with shorts recently, which helps bring obviously new subscribers to the channel, converting them into the long form content. So yeah, it's good. And as I said, I've got some big news in the next week that I'm going to be announcing to you all. That's really going to help take this channel forward, and hopefully like myself as well. So that it is kind of it's hopefully the first step to being able to make this full time at some point. That's what I'm going to say with that. So yeah, you sell stuff basically. Oh, one of those. Okay. Need to become a Sparky. Oh, I've got a few mates who are Sparkies. They do well, but yeah, not for me. Fun fact, I did go to college after school when I finished school, and I did go to college and do was it B-Tech or whatever? I did college for 2 years, and yeah, just weren't for me. What did you do to make that guy keep dive bombing you? That was just basically week 13 all over. People just don't give a crap at week 13. I was just running my race. I started from the back, and I think he was just like, I don't care. So, Science is yes. So, interestingly enough, as we predicted, the medium tyre is the tyre of choice, except for Carlos Sainz trying something different. Yeah, just don't see that being a viable option, to be perfectly honest with you. But I respect Ferrari for trying something different, guys. It is the sprint shootout after all. No one really cares too much about it. Hamilton. So interestingly enough, Verstappen and Hamilton are only on 3-lap old medium tyres. Leclerc is on 5-lap old, same as Norris and Piastri. So we'll see how much of an effect that has on them. Albon is the only driver other than Hulkenberg down in 16th position who has fresh medium tyres. So that could help Albon. But of course, Russell received a 3-place grid penalty for his block on Leclerc in qualifying. So expect Russell to make his way up the pack pretty quickly. I expect, keep an eye on the Haasies. They have a big upgrade this week, and I think they have genuine race pace. I think they've been caught out in traffic a couple of times. And of course, track limits with Hulkenberg for their lap time, sorry. Trying to get that out there. So I think they'll move up the grid as well. So here we are, guys. We are underway on the formation lap. Not long until this sprint race, 19 laps of the Circuit of the Americas, gets underway. Hello, everyone. Hello. I only do domestic electrician working in council houses. Oh, social housing stuff. I bet you've seen some sites. I bet you have seen some sites. Skeezy, hi from Germany. Good to see you. So it's 12 o'clock midnight where you are. You're from Japan. Yes, I do apologise. I don't read Japanese. So I don't know your full name. I don't know what your username is. But hello, welcome. Hope you're doing well. And yes, not long until this sprint race gets underway. I think we're in for a feisty one. Remember that Max Verstappen has not had the best of starts this year. It's probably the only weakness of his season, I would say. It's been pretty faultless from him. So, yeah, we'll see. Leclerc is definitely going to be chomping at the bit. Same as Hamilton, same as Norris, to get this win. This win means probably more to them than it does to Max. That's not to say Max, of course, doesn't want to win. But for those 4 guys in general, they definitely want this win. So we'll see. You almost slept, but you're awake. Good man. You got here just in time. Everyone's jumping in, so welcome. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do. If you're new here, if you're returning and you still haven't subscribed to this channel, what are you doing? Hit the subscribe button. We'll be back tomorrow, of course, for the full race as well. I'm also on the Missed Apex podcast tomorrow night, so be sure to listen out to that, either live via YouTube or via Spotify and other podcast platforms out there during the week. But yes, we're going to be doing these on, well, we have been doing these on the regular, and yeah, looking forward to what should be an interesting sprint race. Very tight between the top 4 cars there. I mean, we have 4 different drivers in 4 different cars in the top 4 who are only separated in qualifying by 1/10. The top 3 were separated by just over less than who were separated by less than half a tenth. So yes, not too long to go. Been in a new hybrid Accord since June as a business car because it's now having some issues with pollution controls. And yeah, a lot of places are across the world are kind of implementing that now. Was it probably yesterday? But oh dear. Well, here we go, guys. If you can hit the like button, we are only on 27 likes as we're about to start this sprint race. Over 100 of you in here. Much appreciated to you all. Here we go. One more swig. So here they are, lining up. Logan Sargent bringing up the rear here. Not long to go. Is there going to be carnage down into the first corner? Of course, we know it is a very unnatural first corner here. The racing line is to the outside, and of course, swooping back in. So here we go. Lights are on, and away we go! And has anyone made up positions off the line there? It seems like Verstappen got an okay start, but Leclerc is up behind him. Sainz on those soft compound tyres has made a position up on Piastri into P5. And Hamilton has got ahead of Leclerc there, down into the second corner through T1. What a move by Hamilton there. Be interested to see how that is on the TV coverage. But Verstappen leads from Hamilton, from Leclerc, Lando Norris in 4th, Sainz 5th, Piastri down a position, and Russell has already gained 3 positions there, making up the 3-place grid penalty he received for blocking Charles Leclerc in qualifying. So he's made light work of Gasly, Albon and Ocon there down into T1. So Hamilton, can he keep the pressure on Verstappen? Hamilton, Verstappen, we have not seen this since 2021, ladies and gentlemen. And Leclerc already dropping back slightly from Hamilton there, 1.6 seconds behind. And Lando Norris is going to get a nice toe down this long back straight on Leclerc, down into T12. Is he going to be able to have a move? No, not just yet. The Ferrari has been strong there all weekend. So let's have a look at the race start and exactly how that move by Hamilton and George Russell was done. And Zhou losing 3 places there, it seems, down in 18th position. Sargent still bringing up the rear. Magnussen up 3 positions as well. And let's have a look. And Charles Leclerc and Max was very, very aggressive in shoving Charles Leclerc almost off the circuit. And that's allowed Hamilton to go round the outside of turn 1 through Charles Leclerc. That was almost borderline unacceptable from Max Verstappen there, if you ask me. Very, very aggressive. But here we go. Lap 1 completed, and Max Verstappen leads from Lewis Hamilton, who is within that important 1 second DRS zone. One more lap until we get the DRS activated. Charles Leclerc falling back behind Hamilton at the moment. His teammate close behind on the soft compound tyre. It'll be interesting to see if any team orders come into play, and Sainz is given the go-ahead to try and make the most out of those softs. Don't see them lasting, so we will see. Hamilton actually gaining there through the first sector on Verstappen. 7 tenths, or loses a little bit out of turn 9. Norris has lost a position to Carlos Sainz in all of that. Piastri close behind. But as you can see, everyone highlighted in green within the DRS Let's see if anyone's going to be able to make up positions down this back straight. This is a very, very good, very, very exciting and good start to this sprint race as Hamilton closing up on Verstappen. And interestingly enough, compared to last year, the W13, Mercedes actually has pace on the Red Bull in a straight line. And look at that, purple sectors from Hamilton all round. Whew. What a start to this race, guys. What a start. Yeah, if you can hit that like button, it'd be much appreciated. If we could get to 100 likes. It helps push the stream. But Hamilton and Verstappen, similar to 2021, in a league of their own at the moment, pulling away from Leclerc. It's mad what confidence does to a driver when he knows he has a car underneath him that he can push the limits to. Although Hamilton looks like he made a bit of a boo-boo there in the last sector, losing a bit of time, 4/10 slower than Verstappen. Obviously, the dirty air is still a factor in these cars, and, well, that seems to be a sector where Hamilton's tyres do fall off a little bit in the last sector on that Mercedes. So, DRS is now activated this lap, guys, as George Russell all over the back of Perez there. He really wants to get past him. I expect to see an overtake from maybe George Russell down into turn 12, but Leclerc pulling away slightly from his teammate Carlos Sainz. Are those soft compound tyres falling off already as Leclerc is opening up that gap? But importantly for him, pulling out of the DRS of Sainz, Norris and Piastri not having DRS activated this time around. But Lewis, DRS activated. How much time is he going to be able to gain on Max Verstappen? I'm not sure he's going to have enough for a move down into turn 12. He's around 9/10 behind him there. But importantly, he gained about half a second. So, interestingly, that DRS and with the toe is half a second on the Red Bull or in the draft. And once again, Hamilton, fastest in the first and second sectors. Is he able to stay tight to Max, though, through this last sector? Last time around, he did lose a couple of attempts, around half a... Well, I say a couple of attempts, around half a second. So, let's see how much that Mercedes is affected from the dirty air of that Red Bull. Seems like it's a bit closer this time around as they come through the last corner. And he's definitely closer. He's definitely closer. And importantly, within the DRS. Yes, much, much closer that time around. 3 attempts quicker than Max's lap last time. Of course, DRS assisted. But wow, what a sprint race we have in store. I can't believe we have Max versus Lewis again. Yes, thank you. Didn't believe this was going to be possible. Leclerc, is he gaining on the two up front? No, not just yet. But as we said, importantly, pulling away from Sainz on that soft compound tyre. Sainz at 40.6 last time around, 1 second slower than his teammate Charles Leclerc. And, well, those soft compound tyres, are they already coming? Or is he already suffering? It was a bold call by the Ferrari, but I don't think it's something that is going to occur. So, George Russell... Perez got past Piastri last time around. George Russell is going to have the DRS this time around. Hamilton not able to gain once again too much on Max there down into turn 12. He is faster though. He is gaining. So we'll see. Maybe another lap or so and he might be able to have an opportunity through there. But Perez, he survives for another lap as George Russell was not able to gain enough on that Red Bull. But let's have a look a little bit further down the grid, guys. So Piastri down 3 positions. Gasly holding station in 9th. Albon only down 2 positions in 10th. Currently holding off the Alpine of Ocon. Danny Rick down 2 positions into 12th place. Not too bad from him. Stroll is up a position. Magnussen up 3 places. Alonso down 3 positions. Not good from him. Hamilton DRS open once again down into turn 1. Not able to get a move. So just having a look at a replay of the start. And I tell you what, he nearly shoved him into the wall, Verstappen. That was so aggressive. And that was borderline unacceptable from Max there. I want to see that again. But he shoved him almost into the wall. Almost moved. Do you remember Michael Schumacher at Hungaroring with Barrichello? Was it Barrichello? No, Massa. Michael Schumacher and Massa, wasn't it? It was like that. It was like that. I'll be interested to see if Leclerc actually made. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he's been able to complain about that. But yeah, it was very, very aggressive. Wait until you guys see it on the highlights again. Montoya, was it Montoya? Montoya or Massa, one of the two. But yeah, it was almost like that. But of course, at the start of the race. So Hamilton, once again, fastest in the middle sector. He is faster all around. Well, I say all around at the moment. He was only just a little bit slower than, well, he was only just a bit faster than Max last time around. Importantly for Max, he's just broken the DRS of Hamilton there. So importantly for Max, he's keeping Lewis just enough further back, with Lewis having to suffer from that dirty air. Under traction, Lewis just isn't able to gain enough time out of the corners to gain on Max. This is the benefit of having the clean air in front of you. Does Piastri have an issue? Possibly, yes, possibly. I don't know if he's got any damage. We'll see. I'm just listening to the TV coverage. Doesn't look like it. He's just struggling. He's just, or maybe he is. Yeah, I mean, he's got to be down on power, isn't he? He's got to be down on power. That's very, very much unlike the McLaren of Piastri. But Norris all over the back of Sainz as well. Going to have DRS next time around as they come down into T11. And importantly for Max, he has broken the DRS toe of Lewis Hamilton. So let's see if Lewis, of course, he will still get a toe from Max. And Max is complaining about drivability is sure not there. I lost the rear completely. So struggling in that Red Bull, but Hamilton not able to gain too much on Max here as they went down to turn 12. So is this intentional from Lewis to drop back? I don't think so. I think Max is just able to pull away slightly with that cleaner air away from the Mercedes. Lewis that just seems to be struggling under traction compared to Verstappen, who has that clean air out up front. But quite evidently, they still are the two quickest drivers on track. Charles Leclerc a few tenths slower. Norris, intriguingly, not able to get past Sainz on that soft compound tyre. Russell is trying to chase down Perez, who has pulled out a gap now on George. 2 seconds to those two. All aboard the Albon train, who is... And Lewis reporting that Max has gone off quite a few times. So, George Russell, 5 seconds for leaving the track and gaining an advantage for George Russell. Oof, not good for him. Not good for him, but Piastri and Albon are tussling there as they go side by side through turn 1 and 2. Through turns 3, who comes out ahead? Albon holds on to the position from Oscar Piastri. Side by side, they went through turns 1 and turn 2 and turn 3. Very, very brave racing from those two because it can all end in... It can all end in tears through there as Piastri gets a track limit violation. Needs to keep... Well, I'll tell you what, we need to keep an eye out on these track limits violations because something could happen with penalties towards the end of this race. But yes, let's see at the lap times. There's Lando all over the back of Sainz. He's side by side. Is he able to gain the position on Sainz? No, he's not. And all the while this is happening, this is allowing Sergio Perez to catch up to the back of the McLaren. And, well, Norris definitely has pace in clean air, but that McLaren struggling in the dirty air of that Ferrari and just not able to get past. And Perez is going to be on the attack very quickly. As you can see there, in just a couple of corners, he's made up over a second on that of the McLaren of Lando Norris. So Sainz definitely holding up Lando, and Lando needs to get past, otherwise Perez is going to be all over the back of him. So the two Hulkenbergs, the two Haases there with their brand new upgrades. The Haas balls, as a couple of you have liked to nickname them, are down in 15th and 16th. My prediction that they've got good race pace is falling flat, isn't it? As they are not really making up any positions whatsoever. But Piastri, has he got an engine issue? He's so far, he's so off the pace. So off the pace. Has he got a bit of damage? Perez setting the fastest first sector, by the way. Perez seems to be a bit of a man on the mission as Hamilton is falling back behind Max now. 2.2 seconds behind Max. Leclerc is 3.7 seconds behind, slightly quicker that last time around. Max, the only driver now to be lapping in the 39-second range. So I'm not sure this is technical. Maybe this is technical by Hamilton to drop out of that dirty air and to cool off those tyres just for a little bit to have a go at the end of the race. We will see, but I'm not sure. Of course, this is a sprint race, and generally speaking, you want to be at 100% most of the time. We'll see. We'll see. But Lando still not able to get past Carlos Sainz. Sainz really holding up Lando at the moment. And I think Lando's just suffering here. A 41-1 last time around compared to Sainz. He must be chomping at the bit to get past him, especially with that Red Bull now in his rear view mirrors. Gasly seems to be gaining on Russell as well, which is intriguingly. Albon past Piastri, all aboard the Piastri train as he holds up Ocon, Ricciardo, Stroll and Alonso. And, well, I mentioned it earlier on, guys, in the sprint shootouts. Has Lawrence Stroll, so Lance's dad, has he gone in and just undone a couple of bolts in Alonso's car? Because this is very odd from Alonso to be this slow this weekend. It seems very odd. Yeah, I don't know. Something just doesn't seem right here this weekend for Alonso. And Stroll, who only had 5 laps to put in a... Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but it seems like Piastri now has a black and white flag for track limits. So one more violation. He will receive a 5-second time penalty. They are going to be investigating Albon and Piastri leaving the track and gaining an advantage. I imagine that was when they went side by side through the second and third corner. I didn't see that on the TV coverage. But Hamilton, 2.6 seconds behind Verstappen now. A 39.8 last time around. So much better lap time from Lewis in a bit more cleaner air compared to Max. Dropping back just helps cool the tyres off a bit and not give him as much punishment. Leclerc a 40.0. Sainz still holding up that little train there of Norris and Perez. So is Perez? I thought Perez would have the pace to get past Norris and Sainz. You would think so, especially with DRS. I'm really intrigued that this Ferrari on that soft compound tyre is able to hold off the McLaren for so long. But some good wheel-to-wheel racing occurring here as Stroll has got past Danny Ricciardo. So Stroll doing pretty well, although Ricciardo's coming straight back at him as they head into turn 1. Is Ricciardo going to swoop round the outside here and have a go on Lance Stroll? No. So Stroll is now up into 12th position and Danny Ric into 13th with Alonso and now all over the back of him as well. But in all of that, Albon has lost a couple of seconds and is now back into the grips of Oscar Piastri. So a very tight pack there of Albon, Piastri, Ocon, Stroll, Ricciardo and Alonso for the top 10 there. Here we go. Norris seems to be a lot closer here now. Norris is much, much closer. He's surely got this overtake done. Surely down into T12 on the brakes. Is he able to maintain it? Yes, he is. And he's finally got past the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz. Now, I imagine Perez will make light work of that and he'll be on the back of Norris. So how much time can Norris make on Charles Leclerc in clean air? We still have 9 laps remaining. Hamilton now has dropped back out to 3.4 seconds of Max. So unless something really happens with Max's tyres, I think this is probably Max's race in this sprint race. Knowing how much the Mercs do in a full distance race, this is a good sign for tomorrow, definitely. And remember, Max is starting P6. So we'll see. It may give the opportunity for Leclerc and Hamilton to get out further ahead of the Red Bull tomorrow. It's definitely going to be an intriguing one. So... yeah, we'll see. So, Norris ahead of Sainz. Let's keep an eye on Perez. Is he going to be able to overtake Sainz down into T11? I imagine he will do. It's to be honest, the first sector is all about just lining them up for that T11 move, staying as close as you can to activate the DRS. Charles Leclerc, interestingly enough, 4 seconds behind Lewis Hamilton, a 40.2 last time around, almost identical to Lewis's time. So Max definitely pulling out that gap on Lewis. Of course, this is, as well as, of course, it being a race, it's all about data gathering for the race tomorrow. We only had one practice session here this weekend on the Friday afternoon, so no one's done any long runs to any efficient long runs to really know how the tyres are handling, how the track has really truly been. So all of this will be put into information for strategy tomorrow. And Sainz, as we predicted, got overtaken by... Oh, hang on. No further action for Piastri and Albon, leaving the track and gaining an advantage. But yes, Carlos Sainz now lost the position to Perez, as predicted, down into T12. Oh, Magnussen going side by side through Zhou there at the back. A bit of a battle happening at the back of this grid at the moment, as they're side by side as they head through into turn 15. Magnussen got the position from Zhou into turn 12, and Zhou has just managed to hold on to the position as they head into the fast right-hander. But it seems to be Magnussen swoop round the outside of Zhou into turn 19. He loves that corner. He pulled off a magnificent overtake last year, Magnussen, in that corner, and he holds onto the position. But for how long? Because DRS is now going to be activated for Guan Yu Zhou, Bottas and Sargent as they head down into T1. Is Zhou going to come back at him? He had a good performance in qualifying on Friday. And has he been able to overtake Magnussen down into T2? He has! He has! A bit of back and forth here from the Alfa Romeo and the Haas of Kevin Magnussen. And Magnussen's regained it! Oh, great racing from those two. See, it's not all about the front of the grid, guys. Those two having, for more than half a lap, a bit of back and forth there. That is what this circuit can provide you guys. Wow. Wow. So Hamilton, let's jump back to the top of the timing sheets though, because Verstappen now 4 seconds ahead of Lewis Hamilton. His medium tyres starting to drop off a bit, it seems, as well as Leclerc. 2 tenths slower last time around for Leclerc. Pretty much a 4-second gap between first, second and third. Norris putting out a gap on Perez now, interestingly enough. So now he's in clean air. Norris showing the pace that McLaren can provide. Actually 2 tenths and 3 tenths quicker than that of Hamilton and Leclerc. Actually 5 tenths quicker, half a second quicker last time around. Lando Norris in clean air to Leclerc and Hamilton. Only just slower, only a tenth slower than Verstappen last time around. So how much has Norris lost out in this race by being stuck behind the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz? It shows how effective the dirty air is in this car, in these cars, guys, around this circuit. I think that's what really truly has done Lewis Hamilton in this race, is that he had to try and make something happen in the early stages of this race to be able to make an opportunity on Max, get out in front and make the opportunity of that clean air. He's taken too much life out of his tyres and he's now suffering for that. So that's intriguing for the race on Sunday. We probably see maybe consciously drivers dropping back a few seconds to try and get some clean air so that they don't slide around through the corners and get the understeer, because Max has just been able to manage the pace and maintain that grip by punching a hole in the air in front and giving off all that dirty air to Lewis behind. Let's see. Perez is 40.5 last time around, 2.5 seconds behind Lando Norris. Sainz holding off Russell for now. Russell not able to gain a position on Sainz just yet. He has got a 5-second time penalty though for that, leaving the track and gaining an advantage. Gasly, is he gaining on those two as they're fighting? We'll see. I think Russell's going to have an opportunity on Sainz down into T1 though, with DRS open. Let's see if he's able to do so. Here he goes down into T1. Is he able to make a move? I don't think so. The Ferrari seems to have really good top-end speed here this weekend, because even though he's on those soft compound tyres, he's just able to maintain, even with the guys behind having DRS, able to maintain that position. lap on lap. I mean, we saw how long he held off Norris for, and now he's holding off George Russell. But Danny Ric, interestingly enough, has regained a position there just as we speak through turn 1 on Lance Stroll. Back into T12 for Danny Ric, his first race back after his wrist injury. A good performance from him, eyeing up that Red Bull seat, but Perez may be vacating at the end of the year if rumours are to be true. So Lance Stroll, is Alonso going to be sit tight and steady and let Stroll have an opportunity on Ricciardo, or is he going to ruffle a few feathers? An angry Alonso this weekend, who's not up to par with his performances. I mean, he's definitely got the DRS. Is he going to have a move on his teammate down into T12? The Sun's owner and Stroll lets him by. Really? Really? Why? Why would you let him by? Unless that's a team order. I mean, I don't get that. I don't get that. Do you know what? We just saw Sainz and Russell go down into T1. George Russell actually sent it up the inside and gained the position, but Sainz did the cutback. So a very, very good racing brain there from Carlos Sainz. That is what that corner could provide. So is Russell going to have another move this time around? No, he's not close enough to get ahead of... Oh, whoa, hang on a second. When did Perez get ahead of them? No. Oh, I'm losing track. Perez has been ahead of them for ages. What am I doing? Perez got ahead of Sainz ages ago, Scott. Why are you absolutely like just throwing yourself off there? Guys. We're on 44 likes for the stream thus far, guys. If you can hit that like button, it'd be much appreciated. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. Just have a quick catch up on subscribers. Xander, Chuck, and Paul, thank you for the subscribers, for the subs. Anyone else who's subscribed in the meantime and it hasn't shown up as an alert, much appreciated. And if you're watching over on Twitch as well, welcome everyone. Please hit that follow button. So yes, here we are with only 5 laps remaining of this sprint race at the Circuit of the Americas. Verstappen is your leader, leading from Lewis Hamilton in P2, who is now over 5 seconds back from Max. Leclerc P3. Norris is in P4, Perez 5th, Sainz 6th, Russell with a 5-second time penalty in 7th. He really needs to get past Sainz and try and build up a 5-second gap with only 4 laps remaining. Sorry, not 5. Gasly in P8, Albon P9 at the moment, breaking away from Piastri now, who is really struggling in that car. I wonder, has he picked up damage or has he got an engine issue? Because, I mean, he's seriously struggling. Ocon in P11, Danny Ric in P12, chasing down Ocon, who did a 41.2 last time around. Danny Ric making up 8 tenths last lap on Esteban Ocon. So Danny Ric flying now. Alonso ahead of his teammate Lance Stroll in 13th. Sonoda in 15th, Hulkenberg 16th, Zhou 17th, Bottas 18th, Magnussen 19th, and Logan Sargent, who is on the back of the newly upgraded Haas, in 20th. And I think so, Sargent, let's keep an eye on Sargent here. I think he's going to have an opportunity on Magnussen down into T1. Go on, Logan, make up a position. You can do it, boy. No, not close enough. We'll rejoin those two back at turn 11 when they head down the back straight. So, Sainz, Russell, is he able to make up any time here on Sainz? Sainz just able to hold on under traction and hold that position, stay far enough ahead so that Russell's DRS is not as effective. Only 3 attempts Russell made on Sainz there, interestingly enough. So maybe setup issues for Russell this weekend. Of course, only the 1 practice session for everyone to dial in their setups. I think he might have made a mistake here this weekend and be running a little bit too much downforce. Hamilton definitely seemed to be quicker in a straight line and gain on the Red Bull of Max in the DRS compared to Russell, who can't really make up anywhere near much time with the DRS open down that back straight of the Ferrari. So Danny Ric, let's keep an eye on Danny Ric. 1.3 seconds to Ocon now. He really made up a lot of time there in this last sector last time around. Let's see if he can do the same this time. He is slightly, yes, definitely. He's making up about 2 to 3 attempts on Ocon in that last sector there. And then he's just a little bit too far behind for DRS at the moment. But next time around, with only 3 laps remaining, he might be able to have an opportunity to overtake Ocon. So Lance Stroll has had to come into the pit lane. Lance Stroll, with an issue, has had to retire. I assume he's probably going to retire this car. The car had brake issues on Friday, which only allowed him to run 5 laps. So that's maybe why he allowed Lonzo to pass. And Sargent I was about to say Sargent's gained a position, but it's not out on track. It's because Lance Stroll's pitted. I was about to praise Logan Sargent there, but I just held on to it for a little bit, guys. Just held on to it. But Max Verstappen now 6.5 seconds ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Leclerc also 6.6 seconds behind. Verstappen almost a second quicker than that of Lewis Hamilton that time around. Norris doing a 40.0. Max, the only driver able to consistently lap in the 39s, it seems. Let's see what Hamilton's able to do here. A 40.3, so half a second difference there last lap alone. So the Red Bull, as it has been all year, supreme on tyres, supreme on pace, is pulling away here to Lewis Hamilton. Now, of course, tomorrow's race, Max is starting in 6th place, but we'll see how many positions he can gain early on. But I think tomorrow will be a bit more of a different and interesting race compared to the sprint race. But Ricciardo within DRS now of Esteban Ocon, as we predicted. We have 2 laps remaining, Spud. So, yes, only a couple of laps remaining. And, of course, I think it's inevitable now that Verstappen and Hamilton are going to finish 1st and 2nd. Norris, intriguingly enough, is catching at a rate of knots Leclerc. Leclerc's tyres seem to have fallen off of a cliff. He is 1 second a lap slower than Lando Norris at the moment. A 41.0 from Leclerc last time around, and Norris a 40.0. So is Lando Norris going to catch Leclerc with this 1 lap remaining? We will see, of course. The tyres do take a bit of a battering through this last sector. So let's keep an eye on that interval between Norris and Leclerc and see if Norris is able to gain any time on Leclerc. Of course, catching is one thing, passing is another. Once they get into that dirty air, the cars do seem to suffer. We saw Norris struggle to get past the other Ferrari of Carlos Sainz. So, interestingly enough, Russell's still not able to get past Carlos Sainz. Cars struggling in dirty air. Be interested to see how that Red Bull reacts tomorrow of Max Verstappen if he gets held up behind the likes of Hamilton, Leclerc, Norris. It might not be so easy to pass for him, but we'll see. We'll see. 30. He was 1 second a lap. He was 1 second faster than Lewis last time around. Very, very quick lap from Max there. Maybe he will have enough tomorrow. Maybe he will. I'd be intrigued to see how much Lewis took out of his tyres trying to stay close to Verstappen. We'll see. We'll see. But Norris 1.5 seconds behind Leclerc now, and pretty much a second taken off of Leclerc last time around. I think this is going to be 1 lap too late for Lando Norris on Charles Leclerc. He might be able to nick DRS into turn 11 if he's late on the brakes. I don't know where the DRS line is, but surely he's got to turn the battery up here and have a go on Leclerc down into T12. I think he's too far back. He's not going to make up enough time on Leclerc here. But I think we're running out of laps. I think 1 more lap and Norris would have had Leclerc here as his tyres seem to have fallen off of a cliff. Maybe Leclerc just pushing too hard, or that Ferrari showing its nature again of just killing tyres. But interestingly, Sainz 40.7. 3 tenths or 4 tenths quicker. No, actually half a second quicker than Leclerc last time around on the soft compound tyre. So maybe Leclerc's had an issue somewhere and locked up and just taken a bit of tyre life. But Max Verstappen, in all of that, has crossed the line and is the winner of the Circuit of the Americas sprint race with Lewis in 2nd. Leclerc, under pressure from Norris in the closing stages of this race, crosses the line in P3 and Lando Norris in P4. Perez gaining 2 positions in P5. Sainz will hold off George Russell on the soft, only man to start on the soft compound tyre, into P6. George Russell up 4 positions into P7. into P7, but he has just lost that position to Gasly because of that 5-second time penalty, only losing the 1 position there for gaining an advantage and not giving the position back. Albon in 9th. Go on, Albono. Go on, the boy. Go on, the boy. And we have Piastri down 5 positions, really struggling in this sprint race in P10. Ocon in P11. Ricciardo not able to catch Ocon there towards the end, but some good pace shown by him in P12. Alonso P13. Tsunoda up for 5 positions in 14th. Hulkenberg 15th. The 2 alphas of Bottas and Zhou in 16th and 17th. Magnussen 18th and Sargent in 19th. And your only retiree of this race is Lance Stroll. Ooh, Max is just so consistent, crazy. Yes, yes. I mean, I'll be intrigued to see everyone's thoughts of the move on Charles Leclerc at the start of the race. For me, I mean, I don't know if Charles Leclerc complained about him squeezing him too much. I don't know. For me, it was very, very aggressive and maybe a bit borderline. But you can't argue with the pace. Yeah, you can't argue with the pace. It was very, very controlled by Max at the front. I think Lewis killed his tyres, like, quite evidently too early on. I understand why. It's a sprint race. You have to go for it. He's in the DRS. He's got to have an opportunity to try and stay close to Max. But it just killed his tyres too much. And we saw that with Lando just kind of struggling to overtake Carlos Sainz as well. So tomorrow, it's going to be intriguing. Drivers really need to... Whoever's out front is pretty much, no pun intended, in pole position. Whoever's in the cleaner air, which is tomorrow Leclerc off the start line, but whoever leads into T1, we'll see. But they have the driving position because everyone behind them is going to be scrubbing their tyres off. And Max today was just able to make use of that. Still very, very quick. Of course, starting 6th tomorrow, but it makes it a little bit more interesting for us. But yeah, very, very commanding win from Max once again. And I'm surprised, someone said I'm surprised Sainz held on to that for as long as he did with the softs. They lasted better than we thought. No worries, James. Good to see you. Hey, Javier. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, I thought Hamilton might be able to keep up when DRS kicked in. Well, he was gaining. He was gaining down the straights, which is positive. He was gaining about half a second. So definitely got pace on the Red Bull. And he was fast. He was fast through the first sector and the second sector. So the first sector, of course, we know is round here. And then the second sector finishes here. The last sector is really where it kills your tyres because you're taking a lot out of the front and rears out of these corners. And then you're taking a lot out of the rears here, all the way through turns 12 to 15. Then turns 16, 17, 18 is all about the fronts because it's a very, very fast, like, triple apex right-hander. Same as turn 19, also takes out of the fronts. And then the last corner, like, you think that you've put so much heat and pressure into the fronts through those corners, and then you're required to turn in onto a very tight corner out of the last corner, and you just see so many guys understeer, especially with the dirty air. So yeah, if you've got clean air, the guys are in a much better position. I mean, Max complained about it yesterday with Perez was like 2 seconds ahead. He was like, who the hell was that? Like, I lost so much time in the last corner. So yeah, that seemed to be the case with Lewis as well yesterday. So yeah, tomorrow's going to be interesting in regards to seeing drivers maybe drop back. How long can they stay close enough to them before their tyres drop off? So could Leclerc start on softs, then go to hards and see the race out, or really trying to will this win into happening? Possibly. I don't know what the tyre allocation is for them this weekend. Be intriguing to see what tyres they have left. I think the hard tyre is definitely the tyre of choice tomorrow. The softs, yeah, we'll see. I mean, those guys at the front, it'd be interesting to see what Max does as well, because Is Max going to go aggressive at the start? You expect him to. He's only in 6th place. Are they going to start him on a more softer compound tyre, whether that's the medium or the soft, to gain positions at the start? Are the guys up front going to do the same as well, or are they going to try and go long at the start? Yeah, I really don't know what the strategy is for this weekend. I don't. A sprint weekend kind of throws it out of whack, to be honest, in regards of how many tyres they have left and stuff like that. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, Sainz starting on the soft today is probably a strategic call for tomorrow, in all fairness. They probably want to split the strategies of the Ferraris tomorrow, and Sainz will have probably... Well, Sainz will most definitely have an extra fresh set of mediums to use tomorrow compared to Leclerc, who will be on an extra set of softs. So, yeah, that may play into Sainz's favour tomorrow. So we'll see. There's so many variables tomorrow. The start's going to be very, very important. Very, very important. So, thanks, Juan. Thanks for joining us. And yeah, thanks to everyone who has joined us. If you haven't hit the subscribe button already, please do. We'll be back tomorrow for the race. I think 8 o'clock UK time it is. So I'll be live half an hour before the race again. So yeah, likewise, if you're on Twitch, be sure to keep an eye out for that. Hit the follow button as well. I don't think Miss Red Bull is any quicker than the rest, but Max is making a difference. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, the gap has closed. The gap has closed. Just trying to see what Max is saying. Yeah, so Max saying the DRS is quite powerful. So obviously you saw lots of gains. He's happy. He's happy with the car. Of course, he's complaining, but seeing what he's saying about tomorrow. He's looking forward to tomorrow. He seems quite happy and looking forward to tomorrow rather than starting from first. He's actually got to do some overtaking. Probably in his interview yesterday, Max said, but at least the start will be more fun. Yeah, I mean, look, he's won the championship. He wants a challenge. So if he had his choice, he'd probably decide to start from the pits and do a last to first challenge. So yeah, let's see what Lewis has got to say. I'm intrigued to see what he says about his tyres and his race pace. Let's see what he's got to say. Thanks for the watch log. Can't wait for tomorrow. Yeah, thanks, bud. Good to see you as always, buddy. Yeah, we'll be here. Fools of Ferrari. So I'm intrigued to see what Lewis says. Does he say anything about his tyres? Says it was fun. So Lewis did not saying anything about his tyres. So Lewis just saying that Red Bull's pace is undeniable. Yeah, so Lewis looking forward to the race tomorrow with Charles and Lando. He expects Max to be on them. Lewis kind of already accepting that Max will be on them very quickly. So yeah, he didn't say anything about tyres, but I still think obviously that had an effect. But yeah, seems like the Red Bull still quite evidently has the pace on everyone else here this weekend, even though it has got a bit closer, guys. So yeah, there we go. That is the end of the sprint race. An intriguing one. We got Lewis versus Max. While not side by side, we got Lewis versus Max for at least the first time properly since 2021. So hopefully we get some more of that tomorrow. So let's have a rundown of your sprint race results. Verstappen in P1, Hamilton P2, Leclerc P3, Norris 4th, Perez 5th, Sainz 6th, Gasly, Russell, Albon, Piastri rounding off your top 10. Ocon and Ricciardo in 11th and 12th. Alonso 13th. Tsunoda up 5 positions to 14th. Hulkenberg 15th. Bottas 16th. Zhou 17th. Magnussen 18th. Sargent 19th. And the only retiree, Lance Stroll. And there we go, guys. That is the end of your sprint race at the Circuit of the Americas. Thank you for joining us this Saturday evening. It's now Sunday morning for many people, not just myself, only just over 10 minutes away. But yeah, have a lovely rest, have a nice sleep. Get fully well rested, because we will be back tomorrow, half an hour before the race starts, for the next watch along for the full race, which has a very interesting grid. And Max starting from 6th place. We'll see how that occurs, with him having to make up some positions and be in the dirty air rather than out front. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are too. So remember to hit the like and subscribe button, turn those notifications on, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks as always. Bye.